Karen builds a community pool on my property and it backfires. It was a peaceful Saturday morning when I stepped outside with my coffee, only to freeze in shock. Right in the middle of my backyard, where my lawn used to be, a half-finished swimming pool was being dug. Piles of dirt were scattered everywhere, and workers were actively cementing the foundation. I knew immediately who was behind this: Karen. I stormed toward the scene, barely able to believe my eyes. This wasn't just an overreach, this was pure insanity. Karen had not only trespassed on my property, but had gone as far as to commission a full-fledged construction project. As I approached, Karen stood proudly near the pool's edge, her arms crossed with an air of self-importance. Before I could even get a word out, she turned and sneered.
"Oh, look who finally decided to wake up. You should be grateful, really. This is going to increase your property value."
I took a deep breath, struggling to stay calm. "Karen, what the hell is this? You're building a pool on my land without permission?" She scoffed, waving me off like I was a child.
"It's for the community. The HOA agreed we needed a shared pool and your backyard was the perfect spot. Don't be selfish."
My patience snapped. "Selfish? You trespassed, destroyed my yard, and started construction without even asking me." Karen rolled her eyes and crossed her arms.
"You don't even use this space. Besides, if you try to fight this, I'll make sure you're fined for being a nuisance to the neighborhood."
I wasn't about to let this go. I immediately called the police and the local building inspector. Within an hour, a patrol car pulled up, and a stern-looking officer stepped out, surveying the construction site. He turned to Karen. "Ma'am, do you have permits for this?" Karen, ever defiant, threw up her hands.
"The HOA doesn't need permits. This is a community effort."
The officer glanced at me, and I quickly explained that this was my private property and that Karen had no legal right to build anything here. After reviewing the situation, the officer shook his head. "Ma'am, this is illegal trespassing and unauthorized construction. You can't just build on someone else's land." Karen's face turned red with rage.
"I was doing something good for this neighborhood."
She shrieked, but her voice wavered as reality set in. The matter was taken to court, where the evidence was overwhelming. The judge ruled in my favor, declaring that Karen had to cover the full cost of restoring my property, pay for the illegal construction's demolition, and was fined an additional $10,000 for property damage and legal fees. As workers tore apart what was left of the pool, Karen stood fuming, forced to watch her grand plan crumble, literally. The incident became a legend in our neighborhood, a reminder that no amount of entitlement could justify breaking the law.